Most people look at the night sky and see a peaceful blanket of stars. I look at it and see a crime scene where the evidence is 13 billion years old. Since the James Webb and Euclid telescopes started peeling back the curtains of the universe, we haven't just found new planets. We've discovered structures that challenge our most fundamental laws of nature. This shouldn't exist. At least, not according to our current models. And one of these discoveries might mean that the laws of physics themselves are fundamentally incomplete. Everything you're about to see is real, but the explanations are still evolving. And number 7? That's the one that made astronomers question if we even understand how galaxies evolve at all. I'm Red, and today we're diving into the absolute deep end of the cosmos. But first, we need to talk about a problem that's breaking the universe itself. 1. The Hubble tension, the tearing ruler. Imagine you're measuring a room. Your laser says it's 10 feet wide, but your tape measure says it's 11. You calibrate everything. You check the floor, the walls, but the gap remains. This is the Hubble tension, and it is the single biggest crisis in modern astrophysics. For decades, we've used 2 rulers to measure the expansion of the universe, the afterglow of the Big Bang and standard candle stars in our modern sky. Recent observations from the James Webb telescope have strengthened the evidence for a massive, irreconcilable discrepancy between these 2 numbers. The ruler of physics is effectively snapping in half. It suggests that a ghost force, or a hidden form of dark energy, is pushing reality apart faster than our math allows. We aren't just expanding, we are accelerating away from our own understanding. And if that doesn't make sense, it gets worse. 2. The little red dots, the nursery of giants. When Webb looked back to the cosmic dawn, the first moments of light, it found the little red dots. These aren't just typical galaxies. They are tiny, glowing pinpricks that are incredibly massive for their age. Scientists believe they may be early supermassive black holes, or perhaps extremely compact galaxies, existing when the universe was only 3% of its current age. The story they tell is haunting. In our current models, black holes grow slowly over eons. But these little red dots are fully grown oaks in a world that only just sprouted grass. It's like walking into a nursery and finding a newborn baby that weighs 200 pounds. Some whisper about direct collapse, the idea that at the start of time, gravity was so violent that gas clouds skipped the star phase entirely and collapsed straight into monsters. But if you think babies becoming giants is strange, wait until you hear the universe scream. 3. Ultra-long bursts, the infinite scream. Gamma-ray bursts are usually the blink-and-you-miss-it death cry of a star, a flash of light, and then silence. But recently, the void has begun to scream for far longer than expected. We've detected ultra-long bursts that last for thousands of seconds, sometimes hours, instead of the usual few seconds. Imagine a stick of dynamite that, instead of a quick bang, stays at the peak of its explosion for an entire afternoon. We don't fully understand what fuels a fire this intense for this long. One theory suggests these are massive stars collapsing in ways we don't yet have a name for, perhaps being fed by a disk of material that refuses to burn out. Every time we catch one, it feels like the universe is shouting a message we haven't learned to translate. And as we listen to these screams, we notice the universe was leaving us signs. 4. The question mark galaxy? A cosmic joke. Suspended in the deep ink of space, Webb captured a literal, glowing red question mark. While it looks like a cosmic signal, it's actually a story of a galactic dance. This is a chance alignment where 2 distant galaxies are merging. One has been stretched into a long, curved hook by gravity, while the other sits perfectly at the base as a dot. It is a 1 in a trillion visual coincidence. It's a reminder that gravity is an artist. one that occasionally uses billions of stars to paint a symbol for our own confusion. It's the universe's way of saying, you don't know as much as you think, but at least we know where those galaxies are. Our next discovery has no home at all. 5. The drifting giant, the king without a kingdom. Every galaxy is supposed to be built around a central black hole anchor, but researchers have identified a possible rogue supermassive black hole, a monster with the mass of millions of suns drifting through the dark void without a host galaxy. Imagine a king wandering a dark desert. The leading theory is a cosmic ejection. When galaxies collide, their black holes begin to dance. But if a third galaxy joins the fray, the complex gravitational math can slingshot one of the black holes out of the galaxy at millions of miles per hour. It is now a rogue predator, invisible and silent, hunting in the empty space between the stars. We're getting close to that galaxy I mentioned, the one that shouldn't exist. But first, we have to look at our own backyard. 6. Kamawalawea, the moon's lost child. This discovery is personal. For years, we thought the asteroid Kamawalawea was just another rock caught in our orbit. But recent analysis suggests this asteroid isn't a space rock. It's actually a fragment of our own moon. The story goes back millions of years. A massive impact likely blasted this chunk of lunar crust into the void. Instead of falling to Earth, it found a gravitational sweet spot to orbit the sun while staying permanently tied to us. It's a piece of our own history hiding in plain sight, a silent witness to our planet's evolution. But while this rock is familiar, our next discovery is a total stranger that defies history itself. 7. The zombie galaxy. This is the one. A galaxy that died of old age when the universe was still a toddler. It stopped forming stars just 700 million years after the Big Bang. It's a zombie galaxy, cold, silent, and dead. This challenges current theories of how fast galaxies can age. It suggests that in the early universe, some regions were so dense that they lived through an entire galactic lifetime, born, grown, and dead, before the rest of the universe had even finished its first cup of coffee. We don't yet know what killed it so early, but its existence changes the timeline of everything. Something killed this galaxy, and we might be next on the list of mysteries. 8. Cygnus X3, the high-energy engine. In our own Milky Way, Cygnus X3 is acting as a microquasar, a black hole or neutron star stripping a companion star and firing jets at nearly the speed of light. These systems release enormous bursts of energy that travel across the galaxy like cosmic lightning. While scientists are still studying exactly how they behave, Cygnus X3 proves that even small objects in our neighborhood can produce power that rivals the cores of distant galaxies. It's a reminder that our home galaxy is far from a quiet place. It is an active, sparking machine. And if a small engine can do that, imagine what a perfect machine looks like. 9. Hoag's object, the impossible geometry. If you draw a galaxy, you draw a spiral. But Hoag's object is a perfect yellow core surrounded by a perfect blue ring of stars, with 30,000 light years of nothing in between. Its origin is still fiercely debated because its geometry is too perfect. One theory suggests a galactic intrusion. A smaller galaxy once shot through the center of a larger one, like a bullet through a target, creating a ripple of star formation that moved outward in a perfect circle. It is the most beautiful car crash in the cosmos, but the sheer perfection of the ring remains a mystery that defies our best simulations. But as we look at what we can see, we're forgetting the weight of what we can't. 10. The Euclid shadow, inferred gravity. If you've made it this far, this is where things stop behaving like normal physics. Euclid recently mapped a region of space that appeared completely empty, No stars, no gas, no dust. And yet, light from distant galaxies behind that emptiness was being warped as if it were passing through a massive lens. We inferred a massive concentration of dark matter through this gravitational lensing, a clump weighing as much as 1,000,000,000,000 suns, just sitting there in the dark. It's a shadow universe that exists alongside our own, an invisible scaffolding holding us together. From this point on, the discoveries get even harder to explain.
11. Markarian 501, the final countdown.
In the galaxy Markarian 501, two supermassive black holes appear to be on a collision course. They orbit each other so closely that a merger is becoming inevitable, though the exact timeline, whether it's decades or centuries, is still being calculated. They are locked in a death spiral. When they finally meet, they will send ripples through the very fabric of space-time, reaching Earth as gravitational waves that will literally stretch and squeeze our planet by the width of an atom. We are watching the final seconds of a billion-year dance. And while they collide, other worlds are simply melting away.
12. TOI 1420b, the world of cotton candy.
TOI 1420b is a super puff, a planet with the density of cotton candy. In theory, under the right conditions, this planet would bob on the surface of a giant ocean like a cork. It's a fragile world, a giant ball of mist and wind that is being heated so intensely by its sun that it's fluffing up like a marshmallow over a fire. It challenges our understanding of how a planet can hold on to such a massive atmosphere without it being stripped away into the void. It is a world made of ghosts and air. But speed is where reality really starts to break.
13. S4714, the galactic speedster.
Orbiting our central black hole, Sagittarius A star, is S4714. It is one of the fastest stars ever observed, reaching speeds of 24,000 kilometers per second. That's 8% the speed of light. It lives in a death zone where most stars are shredded by gravity. It's a survivor, dancing on the edge of an abyss, whipped around the black hole so fast that time itself would pass differently for anyone standing on its surface. It is a star that refuses to die. And in that abyss, we found something familiar, but wrong.
14. TAC-1, the soccer balls of the gods.
Inside a dead star's nebula, we found buckyballs, carbon molecules shaped exactly like soccer balls. These aren't just rocks, they are sophisticated chemical structures thriving in a stellar graveyard. This proves that the building blocks of life are space things, not just Earth things. Even in the aftermath of an explosion, the universe is busy building the complex chemistry required for life to eventually take root. We are seeing the recipe for life written in the stars. But Earth isn't the only thing receiving visitors.
15. Interstellar visitors, the outsiders.
For a long time, we thought our solar system was an island. Then came Oumuamua and 2I Borisov. We've detected these interstellar visitors passing through our solar system, travelers from distant stars that don't share our sun's history. They carry the chemical secrets of alien suns, proving that the space between stars is a highway. They are our first physical look at the ingredients of a different reality, passing through our neighborhood for a few weeks before disappearing into the dark forever. And some of those realities have been around much longer than ours.
16. TOI 561b, the ancient survivor. TOI 561b is one of the oldest rocky planets ever discovered, nearly 10 billion years old. While Earth was still a cloud of dust, this planet was already ancient. Today, its surface is a permanent ocean of liquid lava. It is an old soul of the universe, a planet that has seen the Milky Way grow for twice as long as Earth has existed. It remains as a molten, glowing marble in the dark, a witness to the deep volcanic history of our galaxy. It is a world that simply refuses to turn cold. But even an old soul can't prepare you for a magnetic collapse.
17. The solar avalanche. Interconnected fury. Recent observations suggest solar activity may be more interconnected than we thought. We caught a magnetic avalanche on the sun, a chain reaction where one magnetic loop snaps and triggers another across the entire star. Our sun is not just a ball of gas, it's a single, interconnected, volatile organism. A snap on one side can cause an eruption on the other, showing a level of solar complexity we are only just beginning to map. The sun has a nervous system, and it is made of fire. And if our sun is a machine, some stars are powered by ghosts.
18. The Ruby's Cliff, the dark star mystery. Webb found a galaxy with a light spectrum that drops off a literal cliff. This spectral break is so sharp that it defies every model of starlight we have. One theory suggests these are dark stars, hypothetical objects powered not by fusion, but by dark matter particles crashing into each other. It's a parallel evolution of physics, stars that feed on the invisible ghosts of the universe. If they exist, they change everything we know about how the first stars were born. We're witnessing the birth of moons and the death of galaxies.
CT-Cha b, the moon factory. We may be witnessing a planet giving birth to moons in real time. Around the planet CT-Cha b, there is a glowing disk of dust that appears to be clumping into satellites. We've always wondered how our own gas giants got their moons. Now, we are seeing the process happen. A messy, violent, and beautiful infancy. We are watching the architecture of a solar system being built, brick by brick, in the heat of a young star's light. But the most violent end is reserved for the jellyfish.
The cosmic jellyfish. Finally, we have the jellyfish galaxy. As this galaxy falls into a massive cluster, it undergoes a process known as ram pressure stripping. The pressure of the surrounding hot gas is literally ripping the galaxy's own gas out of its stars, creating tentacles of stars 300,000 light-years long. It is a beautiful, tragic sacrifice, a galaxy losing its soul to the cluster, but in that loss, creating new stars that shimmer in the intergalactic void. It is a glowing ghost in the dark, reminding us that in space, even destruction is a form of creation. The cosmic jellyfish. Finally, we have the jellyfish galaxy. As this galaxy falls into a massive cluster, it undergoes a process known as ram pressure stripping. The pressure of the surrounding hot gas is literally ripping the galaxy's own gas out of its stars, creating tentacles of stars 300,000 light-years long. It is a beautiful, tragic sacrifice, a galaxy losing its soul to the cluster, but in that loss, creating new stars that shimmer in the intergalactic void. It is a glowing ghost in the dark, reminding us that in space, even destruction is a form of creation.